All right guys, so today is the day. I've finally got all the stuff in to turn the 2016 Jeep Wrangler into our Toad. If you guys know us, we are big fans of Roadmaster. We used Roadmaster suspension on our old fifth wheel, so there was no real question about who we were going to go with when it was time to turn this thing into a Toad. So we got on roadmaster.com, got all the stuff ordered that we could get off of there, a couple things off of Amazon. Let's bust this thing out. I only got a few hours of daylight left, and we have to pull this thing in just a couple of days to a music festival. So we got a lot of work to get done in a very short time to get it done. I will give you guys all the part numbers and everything that we used for our 2016 Jeep Wrangler. There are going to be different part numbers for different years, make, and models of Jeep. So make sure you grab the one that fits your make and model. Okay. So from Roadmaster, we went with the Falcon 2 tow bar. The part that goes onto the Jeep itself, the base plate, is kit number 521448-5. That fits the 2012, I think, through 2016. A set of safety chains. And then off of Amazon, I got this wiring harness. It's just a plug and play from Hopkins. It fits our make and model, plugs right into the taillights so you don't have to cut your wires, and goes up to a 4-pin in the front. And then this off of Amazon as well. It's just your 7-pin to a 4-pin flat to get your brake lights and blinkers and stuff to work with your blinkers and stuff on your coach. So first things first, I read through the instructions. Seems pretty straightforward. I know, weird, I read the instructions, right? So what we gotta do, it looks like anyway, is we need to take this plastic piece off, and then pretty much everything is just gonna bolt into existing holes up inside the Jeep. One thing I've learned is whenever you get a big cardboard box with a project and you work in gravel as much as I do, save that big cardboard box, because that's going to be my creeper to do this job on. So we get this thing cut open, flattened out, and we'll get to work. One creeper for the gravel. Let's get up under here and see what it is we're going to need for getting this bracket off of here. I know it's starting to turn dusk on us already. So it looks like they are just some push pins, probably a flathead screwdriver, a couple more under there. So yeah, I think just a flathead screwdriver ought to do it. I left all my tools in the other car. This job is canceled for the day. All right, so now that I actually have my tools with me, we're gonna get started on this project. So like I told you last night, before I realized all my tools were missing, because I left them in the other car, I'm gonna get a flathead screwdriver, pop these little buttons out of here so I can get this bottom little skid plate off. So I'm hoping it's as easy as it looks. But you guys know as well as I do that it is rarely as easy as it looks. I'm hoping these little buttons just pop out of here. Somewhat simple. There we go. So I think it's easier with a pair of pliers just to pull down on them. And then there are two more right up inside here that aren't actually terrible to get to, or so I say, right? And just like that, the skid plate is off. So we're going to set that aside, bust out the instructions to make sure I put these on here the right way. And like all of the projects, you just kind of finger tight all of the bolts. Don't tighten anything down until you get it in there where you need it to be, or it'll turn into a giant pain in the butt for you. So I'll tell you what, the instructions on this thing are pretty awesome. They even have pictures, breaks it down for you. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much you pop that thing off, you locate this hole, make sure it goes all the way through. You take a long bolt, so you got these super long, like 6-inch bolts, and a couple of spacers. So you want to do a long bolt. It says to do the passenger side first. Make sure the hole goes all the way through, which mine does. A bolt, a flat washer through the frame, and then one of the supplied 1 by 1.5 pipe spacers. The bracket which should be this guy right here, I believe. So let's slide this through. So we're talking about this hole right up here, assuming that you guys can see that. And it goes all the way through. So one big bolt with a flat washer, run that all the way through like that. We'll come over to this side, see it coming through right there. No, that's not the right hole at all. Okay, scratch that last part. So the bolt hole that we want to use is actually up here, right kind of behind and underneath of your radiator. So there's a bolt with a flat washer. We just got to figure out how to get her through there. Make sure we're not pinching any of these lines up here. Okay, now we'll come over here to this side. So you can see the bolt coming through right here. You got your spacer that gets you out beyond your body mount right here. We have what I believe will be this guy right here. Like that. Ah, see, these two bolt holes right here line up. So it kind of sits at an angle right there. So let's do a flat washer here. And then we'll do a lock washer and a nut. Like I said, we're just gonna go finger tight. That'll be good enough. So it shows on the instructions, you can see they're letting this swing and then they add this bracket to it. But that bracket is welded to my, my base plate. So that's gonna be a little bit different. And then we got to go over to the passenger side or the driver's side and do the same thing. Then we're gonna have to lift this up all as one unit and get it bolted together. So that could be a challenge. See what happens. Okay, there's that side. We're using these guys. So there should be 4 of those. 2 on that side, 2 on that side. A lock washer, lock washer, lock washer, lock washer. And this is where it's going to get interesting. So what we have to do now is figure out how to hold this guy up here like so, and this guy up here like so, through this. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so there's those 2. Let's see if we can get that lucky on this side too. So yeah, once you get in there and get your bolts started, you use these little guys on a stick up in there and snug them up. And then up through the bottom, there's a bracket, there's a hole here where this guy, let me turn you back around here. So this guy lays up inside the frame. So your bolt goes up in right here with a flat washer, put on your lock washer, and then this widget that goes and lays up inside of your frame, which is a piece of flat steel with a nut welded to it. Just like that. Now, all we have to do is all of that all over again. All right, so that's all bolted on finger tight. Now we're gonna torque everything down, but I gotta go consult my instructions to see what the torque is on this and torque everything down to specs and we'll be set. Then we're gonna run the wiring. So there's that part. All mounted up there nice and snug. Okay, and then I got this little plate that should hold like my plug and wires. A screw that holds it on there. There's another screw around here somewhere. All right, I gotta find this screw. I'll be back. I found my screw. It was stuck to the magnet on the back of my phone. We have to put this little plate goes on right here, and that should hold all of my wiring harness. And that is our next project. So I'm not sure how we're gonna run this back through here yet, but let's figure it out together. So like I showed you yesterday, the wiring kit I got is from Hopkins. And supposedly, this one just attaches right to all of your connectors back in your brake lights. So you don't have to cut any wires. We shall see about that. So got some zip ties, a couple of rubber bands, a bunch of connectors. Okay, so here's the front end, and then there's the driver's side, and here's the passenger side brake lights. Let's figure it out. Okay, so it goes in there. So this will clip into that, but I think only once. So I'm not gonna clip it in there yet. Then we got our handy dandy ground wire, a whole slew of wire to run back. So I'm gonna throw this underneath of the Jeep and work my way back around. So it says to start back here in the back, remove both the taillights. So let's remove both the taillights. To get out your taillight, you only have to take out the inside screws. These outside screws don't hold it in there. And then this guy will just pop up out of there. And then I've already got a set of connectors with a splitter in here that runs my 4-way pin on my hitch. It says to mount the control box behind the driver's side taillight. So let's run that one up inside. And if you don't know, you see down in here, you got your taillight. There's a little flapper fender under here. It just kind of pops up out of the way so you can get access to it, right? See, I got the ground. So they want this one with the control box mounted up inside the driver's side taillight. So what we need to do is pop this guy apart, which is usually as easy as pushing down and pulling out, just like that. And then this end will plug into it until it clicks. I heard it click. And this end, push until it clicks. So that side is now officially mounted up inside the taillight. And let's get a zip tie, mount this back in there so this box doesn't fall out. So let me grab a zip tie. So for those of you who know, you can't ever have enough different shapes and sizes of zip ties, because as soon as you don't, you'll need the one that you don't have anymore. So I always try to keep an abundance of them in the toolbox. I'm just going around the gas fill tube in there, and it doesn't have to be zip tied super tight. It's just in there like swimwear. But my blinker's working here, so that means I got power to everything. So this gets tucked right back in there and put away. Then when you're putting these screws back in, just be gentle. If you don't want to over tighten them in that little metal bracket. One side done, time to do the other. There we go. Goodness gracious, that was awful. That was like 20 minutes. Absolutely terrible. Whoop whoop. And there's the other one. All right, so both the brake lights are working, both the blinkers are working. Now we got to start tucking wire and zip tying and getting everything tucked away to where it can stay safe. That's going to be the fun part, so figure it out. Okay. Stick around. All right, that's it. All I got to do is find somewhere to put this ground wire and we'll be done. Like dinner. All right, that's officially it. Front bracket mounted, wires ran, everything hooked up. Just finished the ground wire. 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that's with recording time. And trying to find more tools that I didn't know where I put them. So not too bad of a job. It's a little dirty, but you can do it. Just be careful on where you run your wire. So I ended up running the wire up along the frame on the driver's side, zip tying it clear up to the frame, keep it up out of the way, and then down and around the inner fender of this front driver's side tire, down and right out the front right here. And then this guy will plug into this guy like so. And then this goes into my 7-pin up into the coach. So we'll see how it works tomorrow when we hook it up. Hopefully as flawlessly as I hope. All right, you ready for attempt number 1?
Yeah, you know what makes me nervous?
What?
If we don't clear a turn or we go somewhere the wrong way, we can't back up.
Great, no problem. All right, I'm just gonna tell you to come forward, okay?
Okay.
Are you in park?
No,
Put it in park.
I'm in park now.
All right, now it's time to see if the hazard lights work. I gotta turn them on in the RV, and then we'll know if I hooked it up right or not. Well, that one works. And that one works. Sweet. We got lights.
That's good. Let's see if we have lights when we turn off the Jeep.
Oh, we will, because it's powering off of that.
Are we supposed to like put it in neutral?
I'm gonna do all of that. Come out here.
Okay.
There's a whole sequence to it.
Okay.
All right, so with the Jeep running, you put the transmission in neutral. And then you take the transfer case to neutral. And then you always want to check and make sure. So you put it in reverse, nothing. So from neutral, you turn off the Jeep, put it up in park, take the key out, your steering's still free, so you can turn and stuff. And that's it. So now we have to start doing our tug test again, but you have to be outside to make sure that all 4 tires are spinning on the Jeep. Because if one of them's not spinning, that's all bad. Bad, bad.
So we don't leave it in neutral, we leave it in park?
Yep.
I don't know how he knows all this stuff. I don't even know if you can hear me because of this noise. He probably watches a lot of YouTube videos. I don't know if you guys know, but this Jeep is my baby.
And you saw all 4 tires were turning, right?
I didn't go on that side, so we better make sure.
Okay, because I can't see the tires.
Okay, all right, we gotta check all 4 tires. All right, very exciting. We don't have to just take our bikes everywhere. Okay, all the tires are moving.
That's a good thing.
Good job. Now we just need to sing the trash song.
Gotta sing the trash song, which is pretty easy to remember the trash song when your seat's covered in trash.